Welcome to the biggest wild boar hunting competition of the year. The best hunters will engage in a fierce battle against these destructive wild boars. Who will take down the most? Who will claim victory? Let's find out. Did you know that wild boars reproduce extremely fast, disrupting ecosystems, destroying crops, and even posing a threat to humans if left unchecked? In the US, Europe, and Australia, governments encourage wild boar hunting to prevent disease outbreaks and protect the environment. These hunting competitions are not just for entertainment. They help control populations, safeguard agriculture, and maintain natural balance. When done responsibly, hunting is both beneficial and provides an exciting challenge. This competition brings together veteran hunters from all over. The prizes for the winning team are incredibly attractive, adding to the intensity. Once everything was ready, we were taken to a vast hunting area. Rolling hills, moderate tree coverage, perfect terrain for today's hunt. As soon as we arrived, the other participants spread out to locate their first targets, and so did we. Wild boars love hiding in dense vegetation, so we decided to start searching among the bushes. As rustling noises echoed from the trees. A wild boar was foraging. 2 shots rang out in quick succession. The boar collapsed. Surprisingly, the gunfire alerted us to even more nearby targets. They panicked and bolted, but before they could escape, 3 more shots were fired, taking them down one by one. We were off to an incredible start. But this was a competition, and time was not on our side. After searching for a while, we spotted another group of boars moving stealthily behind the trees. We took advantage of the terrain, positioning ourselves on a hilltop to track their movements. Now was the time. Gunfire cracked through the air. A hit. The wounded boar tried to flee, but another shot brought it down for good. Scanning the area through the scope, we spotted a few more boars attempting to escape. We quickly opened fire, but they were too fast. We managed to take down just one more. No time to rest. A wild boar suddenly appeared from the left, dashing away in search of an escape route. But we had already blocked every path. The piercing sound of gunfire filled the air, mixed with the boar's desperate squeals. It was taken down right there on the hillside. After taking down our target, we discovered a large herd of boars and drove them toward the slopes. We couldn't let them escape. With the boars trapped, we launched the final attack. Many were shot on the spot, while others fell after a relentless barrage of bullets. From the hilltop, our vantage point allowed us to track the slightest movements of the next herd. They weaved through the trees below. Another volley of shots rang out. Only 2 boars went down, while the rest immediately changed direction. One of our teammates swiftly repositioned, took careful aim, and pulled the trigger. A direct hit. The target dropped, concluding a breathtaking chase. Tension mounted as we spotted another herd moving along a trail. Without hesitation, we devised an ambush plan. This time, the strategy was to wait for them to enter an open area before unleashing a synchronized attack. The moment arrived, the wild boars fell into the trap, unable to escape the precise, fatal shots. With only an hour left before the competition ended, the final targets appeared. We couldn't afford to waste any opportunities. We pushed forward with everything we had. After taking down several targets, we immediately pursued the remaining runners. Gunfire echoed relentlessly. One of our teammates lined up a long-range shot and successfully took down another boar. Competition results. After hours of intense hunting, over 30 wild boars were eliminated. We secured second place, just 5 boars behind the champions. The harvested boars will be fully utilized for food, handcrafted goods, and other purposes. Nothing would go to waste. Did today's hunt get your adrenaline pumping? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thrilling hunts. Wild boars are capable of causing terrible damage to farmers' fields. They often gnaw and destroy crops, grains, etc. Therefore, hunters like us have an important task of controlling the wild boar population, helping to limit their presence in the fields. Today, we will start our winter hunting trip in the hope of reducing the damage to farmers. Follow our journey. Wild boars cause serious damage to cornfields, causing farmers to face many economic difficulties due to the destruction of crops. The number of wild boars is increasing at an alarming rate, making controlling their population more urgent than ever. To solve this problem, in the winter, hunters often organize hunting trips in the mountains, hoping to reduce the number of wild boars. And maybe you don't know, winter is also the best season for wild boar hunting in European countries. On a snowy day, we were still ready to join the hunting trip. After being assigned tasks and hunting areas, we headed to the nearby forest. At the ambush point on high ground, I looked out to observe the forest. In the quiet space, a wild boar suddenly appeared. Its agile steps flew past. I immediately pulled the trigger, the gun rang out, and I also took down the target. Still in the same position, I looked towards the opposite road. The snow was still falling heavily, but we had great spoils here. Still in the same forest, I continued to move and search for other targets. This time the ambush location was also quite good. I could observe very well. Only about half an hour later, when my eyes were focused on observing, the silhouette of a wild boar appeared. It crossed the trail and was immediately taken down by me. It was not easy to find wild boars in this forest, but the feeling of hunting such prey was great. With the effort of searching, occasionally I would encounter a wild boar running away. It was alert, running, and stopping to observe, but it certainly did not expect that it was in my sights. Its agility could not help it escape. After the crisp gunshot, the wild boar completely collapsed in the snow. I was quite excited about this trophy, so I quickly pulled it onto the car. The next day, we continued our hunting trip. Moving deep into the forest and hunting was extremely difficult because after the snow, the trees were broken, so it took us a long time to move. But everything was worth it because not long after, I encountered a large herd of wild boars. A giant boar led a herd of slightly smaller cubs. Without any time to prepare, I immediately raised my gun and fired continuously at the wild boars. Everything was quite great because I hit 2 wild boars in the herd. The rest quickly ran away, but we still tried to chase. When facing the wild boars, the gunshots rang out regularly. Finally, the downed wild boars were scattered on the white snow. A few minutes later, we were in a chase with wild boars. While I was concentrating on observing, a huge wild boar appeared before my eyes. It panicked and rushed past me. The gun in my hand was ready, and as soon as I had the chance, I immediately pulled the trigger. After a series of shots, the wild boar tried to run away, but still could not escape. So we got the next spoils. That afternoon, we moved to another location to ambush. From the woods, the wild boars were chased by hunting dogs and ran away in groups. The wild boars were extremely large, but they did not detect that we were ambushing. When they moved to a suitable position, I immediately fired a shot. It seemed that a wild boar had been taken down. With this result, I was able to be satisfied for today's hunting trip. On the open ground covered with snow, the wild boars ran away at a fast speed. To miss the opportunity, I quickly raised my gun and pulled the trigger. Luckily, I was able to take down a target. So after a tireless hunting trip, we got some good results. The whole hunting group caught a lot of trophies, which is what the farmers wanted. Perhaps such hunting trips will help reduce the number of wild boars here. Although the hunting trips entertain us, the most important purpose of these trips is to control the number of wild boars. This is the best solution to avoid destruction of farmers' fields. Thank you for following this journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. See you in the next videos.